This is Taiwan Talk.
This is Taiwan Talk on ICRT.
So I'm here with Dino Zavolta, as you're better known in Taiwan as just Dino.
Yeah, and I have a Chinese name. They call me Dali Dagu, big power hit drum.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, but now that I'm older, they call me Shelly Dagu.
No, man, you guys are still rocking. I mean, you've performed all over the world, all over Asia. It's been, WuBai and the China Blue have been a band since when?
Since 1992.
Okay.
92. Yeah.
So I guess the first question I have for you is, how did this start? How did you get over here to Taiwan in the first place?
I did about a 6-month contract with a company that was bringing in the Harlem Globetrotters over here, Disney on Ice, and he decided to bring over a pop band to do most of the, at the time it was the Plowman Circuit.
The various bars in Taipei.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So,
like the Plowman Inn, the Plowman Cottage, which is no longer, even the Plowman Inn I don't think exists anymore.
I don't think so, yeah.
And there was the Plowman up in Beito. That probably doesn't exist either. And the Farmhouse, which actually still exists. So that was a circuit that we did for about 6 months. And during that time, just made friends with some of the local dudes, local musicians. Big Cat was actually one of the, he was one of the keyboardists in Waijao, which was the Diplomats at the time. And I think they're still existing as well.
So back in those days, you guys were playing just like covers of pop songs and just entertaining stuff. What's your personal love, your original love for drumming? Were you into like heavy metal or what was the thing?
A little bit of heavy metal and just rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked a lot of pop rock, and some disco,
Sure. So you came.
I was exposed. Being from LA, I was exposed to a lot of music, jazz, Latin, some of the heavy metal, and some of the pop stuff. Van Halen,
sure.
Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Queen. I mean, the list goes on. Pink Floyd.
Were you self-taught when it comes to drums?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I did have a teacher for about 6 months, and he kind of just turned me loose.
And how did your parents feel about that as you were growing up, beating the hell out of drums in the basement?
The parents weren't really happy. It was like, Dino, go get a job. I tried shoe sales. I tried carpentry. I did hung drywall. I did a lot of work in the U.S. and in California.
Is there a kind of almost physical relief and joy out of pounding the hell out of drums?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think people that have ADHD or ADD... It's a great suggestion to start taking up drums. Yeah.
The next step in the evolution was meeting somebody that eventually would introduce you to WuBai and the band. Xiao Tzu was the guy that kind of introduced us to WuBai. We were doing Earth Day. We had a band, and we all did Earth Day, and I saw WuBai up there, and he was doing some Santana song, sweating and just getting into it. I said, who is this guy? He wasn't extravagant. He wasn't a technical player. But what he was doing inside the music, it seemed to enlighten me and really turn me on. He had the rock and roll attitude.
Yeah, he had the rock and roll attitude. And it just seemed 110% player.
Right. So the second you saw the guy, you were like, I could play with this dude.
Yeah, I could definitely play with this dude. Oh. Yeah.
On the topic of language, most of the songs that WuBai sings, or many of them, are in Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Do you
How's my Taiwanese?
Yeah, exactly. That's you know that's coming, right?
Rotten, lousy.
You knew the question had to come, but you understand the lyrics, of course.
Actually, when we're recording, we record most of the stuff live, and then WuBai will come in, he'll be singing, and I'm like asking, because I'm very inquisitive. I want to know what's going on, and. Kongshi Kimpo, he told me the whole story about when the Japs were here and they were down in the basement hiding from the Japs, and you could hear the planes going overhead and the bombs going off, and it was about his dad's actually generation.
Wow.
Of being in the
intense.
The war here. Yeah, the intense war here. So Satyoli is Crush on You. It's just it's just a cute song in Taiwanese.
Love song.
Yeah.
And there's one about a bird, a lonely bird on a tree.
Yeah, lonely bird, lonely tree.
Right.
I still don't get it, but it seems to work. Chuki Go Jiao.
Cool.
Suzu Gu Niao, yeah.
So you have moved to Taiwan. You're a permanent resident. You are married to a local. You have a kid. Taiwan's your home.
Yes. I would say it's my home. And I still miss California. I'm a California boy. Look at me. Clean-cut dude. I don't do drugs anymore. I drink a lot. I like to surf. I like to cook. And I like to play with my son and entertain my wife, you know.
And that was a little snippet from the band's track Made in Taiwan. Thanks for tuning into Taiwan Talk. Reporting for ICRT, I'm Eric Smith.
This is Taiwan Talk.
This is Taiwan Talk on ICRT.
That was a little sampling of Dino Zavolta drumming with WuBai and China Blue, a band that's become rock legends here all across Asia. What was one of the times that kind of really sticks out in your memory as like a really intense experience of performing?
Beijing, for one.
Okay.
Beijing, for one. Well, I'd say that was kind of a apex of my staying here in Taiwan. Like, should I stay here? What am I going to do? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? And I think we were over in Beijing. We were recording with Bobby Chen at the time. And it just kind of hit me. It said, you know.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is cool. This is what we're doing. I mean, the music was fresh. I didn't know it was going to be a hit. We were just playing, giving our 110%. And the love of the music, and then we came back, and then they mixed it down, did some engineering, and then when it hit the airwaves, it was like, wow, you know, WuBai and China Blues with Bobby, and you know, and this kind of, now still this day, these are like number one on the charts. Some of these songs are still to this day number one on the charts,
and
which is pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. Yeah, 20 years down the road.
Yeah, and then I'd say that the biggest thing that for me was doing a concert with Taiwan Beer. We did about 5 or 6 shows. Was the Kongchi Kimpo tour, and it was outside, and it was just thousands and thousands of people, over 200,000. I think we broke a record at some time, at some point.
200,000 people.
Yeah, over 200,000 people, 300,000 people, just out in the one of the factories, and it was just people for days. And it was like, wow, this is what I want to do.
It must be a kind of godlike feeling.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of like I said, I'm a simple dude. It doesn't hit me until like 2 or 3 days later. It's like, wow, you know, and then you see pictures or you see it on the news, like, God, that was me up there, man. That's cool, you know. Then you get a big head, and it's like, oh. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Right. Awesome. So when you perform in China, and you guys still go over there from time to time, right?
Yes, we do.
And WuBai will still sing his songs in Taiwanese.
This is the amazing thing. There was a time where WuBai was kind of banned. I think it was during our Baika White Dove album. I think they were kind of banning him because we were doing a lot of shows for Mayor Chen Shui-bian at the time. And the mainland wasn't happy about that. But after this kind of worked out, and we started hitting the mainland circuit. Yes, they love the Seikai Dei Ding. They love some of the Taiwanese because it's very poetic, and it's written in Mandarin, so they get the gist out of it. You know.
And did you ever do a concert in China where you were also in the hundreds of thousands?
We do. They're called business concerts, where they bring in like Chi Ching and a bunch of other artists.
For like a festival.
Yeah, it's a festival. And just recently there was like maybe over 100,000 people in an auditorium. And that was kind of a rush. And we did the Rock Records, the Big Egg, the Bird's Nest in Beijing with Mayday and Zhang Chunye and Free Night. And that was like 90,000 people.
And
And once again, that was Dino drumming with WuBai and China Blue. For info on their upcoming concert, visit WuBai.com. I'm Eric Smith, reporting for Taiwan Talk.